3 months ago, we went for a charity trip to Yên, the province where I grew up. So I saw some girls at about 5 or 7 years old selling food on the street with barefoot and rumple shirts. Those girls really touched my heart. And I told my friends that this was me 30 years ago. If I would say one thing to those girls, I would say I was selling peanuts in the market to help my mom. And now I've got an international IT business. And if I can do that, then you can too, even much better. Let's build a dream from today. 30 years ago, I was selling peanuts in the street corner in this place. And I enjoy very much selling food because I could help my mom to earn more money to pay for our daily life. My dad was a soldier, so he was only able to visit a few times a year. Not only selling peanuts, because I was a good seller, so my relative asked me to sell many things like egg, guava, vegetable, or even some kind of crabs or shrimp or snail. You might be thinking that it's terrible. A young girl of 7 years old selling food in the market. But actually, it was so much fun for me. It didn't occur to me that we were poor. Only when I grew up and realized and reflect back, and I realized that we were. I remember one year I cried because I did not get a new t-shirt at the final day of the year, and how much I expected it to come for my New Year Eve, my third holiday. Because I have only one new t-shirt for 1 year. And I started to question how some people could have enough money to buy a new dream motorbike, why my dad has old one and it always died whenever we stopped for a few minutes. I also questioned why some people could travel around the world, why for me it was just a dream. I had never been further away more than 80 kilometers out of my province, and it was only to go to my dad's workplace. But my life has been changed when I turned 14. My dad got retired and he came home and he was living with us. He bought a computer to hire out to the villagers, and I got a chance to play around when no one's using. My first coding experience was in Pascal. I wrote a very simple program to make a clock run. And I was very excited and imagined an interesting world that a computer could bring. I also focused more on studying to remain at the top of the class. I spent more of my free time to go to the English class in the evening because we didn't have chance to study English in the school at the time. I also stopped selling in the markets because I started feeling embarrassed when seeing my friends out there. And after 3 years of high school with excellent grades, I was lucky enough to go to a university in Hanoi without taking the entrance exam. And I chose computer science as my main major, despite my parents wanted me to become a teacher like my mom. Actually, at that time, I didn't understand about myself, who I was, or what I wanted to do. But IT came to my mind as a powerful tool and a secret that I would want to discover. So I went to Hanoi and fell in love with the city. I was excited with being far away from my parents and live as an independent student. One day I saw a note on the bulletin board that there was scholarship to study in Australia. The country came to my mind from my uncle when he came home. And I was questioning if I was eligible to apply because I haven't heard about that kind of scholarship before, and it seems so much bigger than me. And the fee of the application is about $30, and quite a big amount for me at that time. About 1 month's living cost that I have to pay. So after a lot of considerations, I convinced myself just to take a risk. And what was crazier than losing that amount of money that I got chosen? I was one of 50 students in Vietnam. After more than 2,000 applications to win a full scholarship to study in Australia. I still remember how hard it was to control my work home, to share the news with my family. I tried to calm me down by work, but I just run and work and run. I went on to do my bachelor degree of computer science in the University of Sydney. After a few months studying English, I still remember one morning when I woke up, I was already in Sydney. And when I got out of the airport, everything seems very different from what I can see before. All the things that I just seen on TV before, like many cars, big road system, so many parks and high buildings. So I just take a deep breath, and even I have to bite my finger to make sure that was real, and that was real. And I quickly enjoy with the new life there. While it seems so many things to enjoy, I also found a lot of challenges when I was living there. Even something that is very normal to other people, like going by car. But for me, going by car or by bus was horrible. I always feel dizzy when I stay on a car, even for a few minutes, because I had used to with going by motorbike or by bicycle before. So after a few months, I started learning how to drive, and then it works for me. Also, my English was not good at that time, so I got a problem with understanding the lecturer and also expressing my opinion in class. I also miss my home so much. I miss the food that my mom cooked for me. I miss the street, miss the friends. Everything there is totally different. I could want to go home, to run home, but I could not. So like many other students, I also found part-time jobs. So the job there not only kept me busy, but also helped me improve my English, improve my social skill, and I think it's a great opportunity for me to understand more about the Australian society. I saw many things in Australia that I would want to bring to Vietnam, my country. And I dreamed that one day I would find many things in Vietnam that I could find in Australia before. So 4 years living and studying in Australia opened my mind. I learned a lot about myself, to what I wanted to achieve in my life. And when I came back to Vietnam, I worked for many different roles, such as researcher, coder, project manager, business consultant, or country representative. All these different roles give me a great foundation for my career map. And 5 years later, when that was in 2009, I opened my very own software company, started with just 4 engineers. And now we are a team of nearly 100 people working with clients from 4 continents across the globe. It is very obvious that the number of females in the tech industry is very few. In the US, while there are about 57% of bachelor degree in general are awarded to women, only 12% of IT degree are earned by women. And those small number of women, when they go to the workforce, about more than half of them leave their role in mid-career. From my experience, this number also very similar to Vietnam. When I started my company, I actually tried to look for female developers to recruit. But actually, for 7 years of operation, I only found 2. But after 2 years, they just move on. One become an IT supporter and the other a teacher. And not only female in IT industry, but when we talk about female entrepreneur in technology, the number is much lower. In Vietnam now, around 5% or less are women entrepreneurs in technology. So, like many other women in Vietnam, I also got the challenge of trying to balance between my home life and my career. Don't get me wrong. My family is also very important to me. So I have to balance myself. So as seriously as I take for my business role, I also approach that to my role at home of being like a mother and a wife. I normally tell people that I got 2 jobs, one unpaid job at home and one paid job at work. It's very funny that many people that I met, they seems cannot believe that as a woman I can own a company or run a company properly. And when they heard that I'm a CEO of IT company, they asked me, "What's your husband doing?" And I said, "He's a lecturer." And they asked, "What subject does he teach?" I say, "Programming." And they, "Wow, I see." They seem to find the answer for themselves. And they assume that I just work for my husband or have some kind of inheritance from my parents. So when finding the ways to overcome all the challenges, I found 3 solutions that I believe they are the most important and I would like to share with you. The first, find your own inner peace. Live in peace with that. Let's work with something that fuels your curiosity or something that makes you feel fulfilled. Why is worth to listening to the people that you love most, the family, the friends, or the community? I believe that it's very important that the life path is driven by yourself, not by expectation or obligation by any others. When you find something, when you truly understand yourself and find something that brings you peace, then you know that you are on the right track. And my second solution, learning has never been too late. I was not born smart. I got to learn all the way. We need to learn every day to keep up with the world that is constantly changing. I learned from the book, from the internet, and also from my life experience. I learned how to build up my company from scratch. I learned how to become a great leader and how to take the company up. And everything I learned, I just share back to the team and we all can grow. Third, networking with like-minded people. So when I just started my business, I felt very lonely. So I found a network of women entrepreneurs in Hanoi. We met each other very often. We share about knowledge, share about experience. We also share the challenge of being a female entrepreneur in Vietnam. And I gained a lot from this group. I also joined the Shirley Play Mentoring Foundation. That was a group from UK that support many women entrepreneurs all over the world from more than 90 countries in the world. I wanted to see what other women entrepreneurs in other countries doing or how to support an experienced person. So after being a mentee for 1 year, I became a mentor. And I also discussed with them to bring this program to Vietnam so other women like me can benefit from. And currently, there are about 50 women business owners in Vietnam are part of this program. While you're trying to apply any of those solutions, courage is crucial. I believe that we need to be brave enough to be vulnerable, to get out of the comfort zone or break the border, to learn a new skill. We need to be brave enough to follow the inner peace and ignore all the criticism of others. During my first 3 years, I got many challenges, and sometimes I feel that was the end of the way. Customer did not pay. There was not enough work for workers. Employee resigned, or even one of our co-founders wanted to leave. It was really tough. My husband also told me to close the company so I would have more time for my family and be less stressed. My friends told me, "Ben, do you want to succeed with your career or do you want a happy family? You cannot have both." It was really discouraging. I tried to listen to myself to see what I really wanted and what I can do. And I truly believe that I can solve the problem that I was facing. So step by step, with a lot of patience and resilience, I found a solution for each of the challenge. So now I must say, being an entrepreneur is an exciting journey, especially being a woman entrepreneur in the tech industry. I love talking with my daughters, and they also enjoy listening to my stories. So whenever I talk, I share with them about my life up until now. I share the lessons that I have learned along the way and encourage them to follow their own path and live their best life. Back then, if I were driven to get out of poverty, and now I'm driven to enable other people, especially women, to succeed. Thank you.